Hi friends, the Oracle Healer here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a candle wax pick a pile reading. We do have two piles for you to choose from for today, and I do have timestamps available down below. After you've chosen your pile, it'll take you straight to there. This is actually what won on a poll that I did here on my YouTube page about a week ago now, and this is the one that won. So we're gonna do this one first. If you voted, I truly appreciate your vote, and I feel like everyone voted for each of the three options we had. So just know that if you voted any other option other than this one, I will still be filming those other two options that I had on that poll too. If you want to turn on post notifications, I will try to come out with that as soon as I can. But today is going to be all about what your guides want you to hear, want you to know right now at this time, whenever this reading best finds you. Remember to only take what resonates or what you feel makes the most sense for you and your current path or your current journey at this point in time. This is pile number one's candle. It's a sort of like a blue, like a baby blue candle. And this is pile number one's heart. I thought it would be cool to kind of cut them out today. They are slightly different, not identical, but that is pile number one's. Pile number two is this candle here. It's an in-between, like yellow and orange. It might not look like it over the camera, but that's what we got for pile number two. And this is pile number two's heart here. Okay. Make sure that you go with your intuition. Give yourself a second to kind of think about it, taking a deep breath. If you do feel drawn to tune into both piles today, you can absolutely do that as well. I will see you in your pile. Hello, my pile number ones. You all chose the blue candle. This is going to be your reading all about what your guides want you to hear or want you to know right now. Let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what your guides have to say. I will zoom you in. Okay, what do we got here? I am already seeing some signs in this pile, actually. I'm seeing Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also seeing water signs and earth signs. That can just be like significant, but majority I am getting air. I'm seeing a lot of air right here. Okay, so it looks like you, pile number one, have been super focused on one thing. Notice how there's like only one drop of wax so far here. So yeah, I feel like you've been focused on something. You could be feeling like right now things are stuck or like things are put at a pause. So you could be feeling like you're in a little bit of a hangman or hermit type of energy right now. So something is feeling delayed. I feel like with getting a lot of air so far, yeah, there's just like something that's delayed. Okay, now we are getting whatever's delayed right now seems to be confirmation on my watch. We also have a garbage truck that just passed by too. I was gonna say whatever is delayed right now is taking a toll, one, on your emotions, but also what you're delaying at this time has to do with something leaving your life or exiting outside of your energy here with that garbage can or garbage truck that just passed by. A lot of the times when I start to get or see like black in the wax, that tells me that there's like a lot of like darkness or a lot of heavy energy. So it looks like this one thing you have your focus on is making a decision right now. It kind of feels like a decision to end something. I do feel like you're sitting in between two things at this time. The heart could be feeling a little bit torn between two things, two decisions, two people right now. I do feel called to tell you though, with this heavy energy that's in here, my pile number ones, this is a decision that you need to choose that leans more towards choosing yourself and leaving someone or something or the situation behind that is making you feel so stressed out. For some of you, this is about a specific individual, like an actual person. For others of you, children can also be significant, and children can also be part of the reason why like this is even harder to make this decision. If it's not a child, it could also just represent like something that you and this person have birthed together, or something that you birthed on your own, whether it involves another person or not. It could be maybe having a hard time leaving a home, and that being a little bit difficult for you to make that happen right now, whether it's due to money, maybe it's just uncomfortability. Change, can be scary. But whatever it is, I feel like this is part of the reason why it's hard for you. There could also just be a lot of history too, for those of you that resonate with this being associated to like another person. But whatever this little thing is, I feel like you might be using it, respectfully, my pile number ones, as a little bit of a clutch right now. And this is something that sooner or later you'll gain clarity on, and you're going to see like, okay, like I can't use this as an excuse anymore. And that time will come when you do feel ready to make this decision to leave. But I do feel like you have reached the end of the road here in this situation, definitely. You need to know also, my pile number ones, don't think that leaving this behind isn't going to come without any rewards. I feel like there is. Like, this heart here is representing like everything that you're holding on to right now, and the right side of the heart is everything that will like come after making this decision. I'm also seeing 7 of Cups, so you could just have like a lot of thoughts running through your mind right now, but you need to know it's going to be okay. I feel like there's better times ahead of you. But yeah, I feel like it's time for healing is what your spirit guides are saying. It's time for healing. It's time to heal. It's time to build up that courage. I don't want to say rush a decision, because I do feel like a lot of you in this pile need to carefully kind of like calculate whatever it is that's making you feel scattered, or whatever is clouding your vision. So like carefully calculate it, but do know that it's about that time for you to kind of make this decision, like sooner or later. And again, I do feel like a gift will be coming in due to your efforts in doing this. This could be one of those situations that where there's just like a lot of things involved, or just a lot of issues, maybe a lot of people, maybe just like a lot of outside noise as well. So don't let outside noise or opinions of other people on this decision, this relationship, whatever the conflict is and decision, or what you're choosing between, don't let any outside people depict the decision you need to make, because at the end of the day, it's going to be what you're living in, I feel like this pile is saying too, like your spirit guides want you to embrace healing. They're saying it's time to embrace healing, because I feel like there's just so much energy that's surrounding you. There's a lot of suppressed emotions. I'm not sure if I said that already or not. I'm hearing cry, scream, breathe. Freedom begins where your expression starts to flow. You have a lot more strength than you realize, my pile number ones. A lot more strength than you realize you do. There's just like so much cluttered energy. Like I feel like it's time to release it. As your spirit guides are kind of showing me like a pipe, when a pipe is like stuck by all of this debris, all of this conflict, all of this heavy energy. Once that pipe gets unplugged, you just have that immense like flow, the weight gets lifted off your shoulders. No, that's part of what's coming here. And I just feel like this is about starting a healing journey. A healing journey you need to trust the process in, and know that every step of that journey brings you closer and closer to like the peace that's available on this side. Because I feel like a lot of this heavy energy is like over here, So yeah, I feel like pile number one, what you need to hear is that right now you're getting ready for a change or an awakening. There's going to be some type of perspective that comes forward, but only if you decide to surrender to it. You need to know that the longer that you suppress this, and the longer that you avoid, or maybe some of you might be a little bit in denial still, the longer that this release is going to take. But I do feel like it's time to take away all of this scattered energy. It's time to detox what you've been suppressing. This could also look like finally communicating something to somebody, finally communicating or speaking out your truth with this individual, or just speaking your truth out to yourself. But it does look like you've reached sort of like a dead end. This could be like a breakup, a divorce, if it has to do with somebody else. If it's just only about you, it just can talk about you going through some challenge in your life that's making you feel like you've hit rock bottom or making you feel like you failed. You need to know it's not necessarily about you failing or failure. It's just that you've outgrown. It's just that whatever the situation is and where you're at, it's causing you to be really like unhealthy. I feel like you're suppressing a lot. You're suppressing way too much in the mind, because I was getting a lot of air energy in this pile. So it's time to let go of what's been suppressed for so long. You need to know that once you accept this, you will receive some type of, I feel like, gift or opportunity ahead. But I do feel like it's time for tranquility. It's time for peace. It's time for you to have some restoration within yourself. So be ready to make whatever type of decisions that might fall with that, in order to do it or make it happen and open up to it. Let's see if we can get anything else. Is there anything you'd like to elaborate on this decision? What this could be for pile 1. So we have a 5 of Pentacles. Another thing I'm hearing with this is like, you, pile number 1, you need to know that you do have like resources, or you do have people that would love nothing more than to help you. We were getting a message about being careful with like letting outside opinions depict what decision is best for you, right? But I do feel like you need to know that you do have like support from actual people in your life, support from your spirit guides. And the 5 of Pentacles just talks about, feeling a lot of cold energy. So you do feel like you're left out in the cold right now. You feel like you're in a tough spot or situation where you feel like there's not a lot of light in your life right now. You could be feeling shut out by another individual. You could be feeling really insecure, maybe about finances too, because Pentacles can talk about finances. Maybe reaching a dead end when it comes to a job or career. For some of you, or majority of you, I should say, it is about a relationship, and I was kind of picking up on that earlier. So you might be holding on to a connection right now. I do feel like at one point this connection, I do feel like was super balanced. For some of you, you might just be reaching kind of like a bump in the road with another individual. And when I say that, I'm saying like for those of you that have been with someone for maybe quite some time, I want to say at least maybe 5 months or more than that. I feel like you and this person could also, like what all of this suppressed emotions is, you're being called to finally express. So maybe you and another person, or maybe just your person, take it how it resonates. I do feel like your spirit guides are saying it's time to let go of maybe resentments. It's time to let go of things from the past or a perception that is no longer allowing this connection or this dynamic to flourish anymore. Whether it's quite literally letting go of those things in order to keep this dynamic at peace, or to let go of these things and the connection as a whole. For some of you, it's going to look a little bit different, but either way, it's like time to let some things out. What's been suppressed, what hasn't been talked about here. And then we also have a King of Pentacles. Doing this will ensure long-lasting results for you, or for you and this other person, if it's another person involved here. King of Pentacles is long-lasting stability and results with gentle, attentive care, with patience is one of the biggest and most important things too. We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have water as well on the table, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Is there anything else you want pile number 1 to know? We're here at this time. We have a 10 of Swords and we have a Knight of Swords. Now, for others of you that are resonating with this being like a final breakup or separation here from somebody, I do feel like there has been a lot of betrayal in this dynamic that your spirit guides want you to know isn't your fault. The Knight of Swords is telling me that you could have been dealing with a situation or a person who was trying to go too fast. Maybe you and this person were jumping into this dynamic too fast and too quickly. And even though Knight of Swords can show like determination, maybe there was like a sense of determination like for loyalty here and to want to truly genuinely make this dynamic work, I do feel like something about this connection just went too fast or was like super rushed and resulted in maybe not seeing certain red flags that were actually there, and at one point finally reaching that state of, okay, now I feel like something is weird, or now I feel like something is off, you know, kind of like when the light bulb starts going on, we start to have superstitions. Your spirit guides are saying with the Seven of Pentacles, it's time to focus on the resources you do have. It's time to focus on what you can build, whether that looks like for yourself independently or with this individual. Okay, but for majority of you, it does look like it's independently with this Ten of Swords being here. So we're talking about a broken cycle. We're talking about you needing to hear that it's time to move ahead. It's time to move on to better. It's time to choose yourself over the pain, over the person, over the burden. The Page of Swords is also reminding you to think about, you know, during this time, hangman energy. We were talking about that earlier, kind of being in a hangman, being stuck right now. But during this hangman energy, finding a lot of necessary perception. With the Page of Swords, this can look like you finally realizing a lot of things that you might have missed early on, finally clicking, finally being shown to you, finally making sense. It's being given that clarity and that knowledge and that wisdom that maybe before in this situation or this dynamic you couldn't see, because maybe it was overclouded or overpowered by love or love bombing, just kind of like being in the moment, you know, passion, flirtatious early honeymoon phases type of energy. But it does look like it's time for this transition in your mind to happen here, where you take what you've learned from this and use it, you know, in the future for where you're headed. Let's go ahead and pull you a last overall message from the universe and see what we got. What is the message for my pile number ones? Okay, this is your overall message, and it says, you are not moving too slowly. Drop the self-induced pressure. You are at the sweet spot between taking care of yourself and still making advancements on your goals. On this path, there is no such thing as being behind. Smile, breathe, and carry on. I was talking about needing to just kind of like breathe. I believe I said cry, scream, breathe, right? Freedom begins where expression flows. And I was getting hangman energy, and I was saying, you know, this doesn't necessarily mean you need to jump super fast and make a fast decision, but you do need to know that a lot of clarity is coming in for you at this point where you might be feeling stuck, but feeling stuck and going slow is the only thing that's going to allow you to kind of fully think things through, to finally see what you've been missing or to see what's being hidden, you know? So there's actually a lot of clarity and a lot of growth happening, even if on the outside it might look like stuck energy or it might look like too slow. So definitely be patient with yourself. There's a lot that is being unraveled right now and that will be unraveled for you. And it's going to result in a new beginning, which is going to bring you a much bigger, much better advancement for yourself and in your life. Okay, pile number one. So trust in yourself, trust in the divine timing of things. I believe that's everything I have for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, you can give it a thumbs up or comment down below which pile you are from. I would love to see it. And if you would like to connect with me on a private reading, I have my Etsy shop linked down below in the description box. I am sending you lots of love and light and everything nice. I will see you on the next one. Hello, my pile number twos. You all chose this yellow orangey candle. This is going to be your message all about what your guides want you to hear or know at this time. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Thank you for being here. Let's see what messages we have for you today. I am going to zoom you in just a little. Okay. What does pile number two need to hear at this time? There's some mirroring energy going on right now. I feel like I'm also seeing like a conflict right now. There's something about mirroring energy. There could be some type of like toxic attachments right now that you are mirroring off of somebody else. This could be like a twin flame or counterpart type of dynamic here. So I feel like this first message that's coming forward for you, pile number 2, is to remember that like toxic attachments or toxic ties to maybe just addictions, traumas, things from the past, maybe people, that all they do is drain out your energy. So I feel like you're being called to cut any type of cords or attachments that are unhealthy for you. Maybe kind of take a step back and think about that for a little bit, because I do feel like there's some toxic attachments to some things here. I'm seeing temporary happiness. We have like the smile, but the smile has like this big drop on it, which is like giving me like tear vibes. So it's kind of like on the outside I'm smiling, but on the inside I'm dying is what I'm hearing. Or on the inside I'm actually really sad, or I'm really depressed. Confirmation on my watch. So yeah, I do feel like there is some toxic ties or attachments we need to let go of here. That's the first thing that's coming forward. There's a lot of like, I keep on seeing like a lot of like repeats. I don't know why. There's like a very distinct pattern in this specific pile. That's interesting. I feel like I keep hearing with this being shown in your wax is like a lot of repeat, or like a lot of repeated patterns, a lot of maybe coming and going type of energy. I don't know if this is in regards to like being part of these toxic attachments, if it's like a person. Confirmation on my watch. So maybe some of you are tied to coming and going, or to allowing someone to come in and out of your life. Maybe if this isn't attached to a person, it could just be maybe like impulsive type of energy when it comes to your decisions, when it with these like toxic attachments, again, people related or not. Maybe it's just like a bad habit that you always tend to go back to. This bad habit can look like masking, right? Masking how you actually feel on the inside. It can also look like going back to a particular person that you know is like no longer good for you. I'm seeing an arrow pointing up right here. I feel like your spirit guides want you to know that there's going to be an opportunity to make a choice. Okay. I feel like this is going to affect stability within you, but also like outside of yourself. I'm seeing a very like serious face. Like I feel like the thought of you needing to make a choice very soon could probably kind of trigger you and make you feel like, I don't want to be in a point to make any decisions right now. And it's probably because you're stuck in this like cycle of attachment. But you need to know that an opportunity to rise up to the occasion is going to be coming forward. So I feel like your spirit guides want you to get ready for that. They're saying to get ready for making a decision, or to get ready for like planning. It's interesting because pile number 1 got something about making a decision too, but I feel like pile number 1 was very distinct on making a decision when it comes to like leaving a dynamic behind. And of course for this pile it could be the same thing, but this kind of just doesn't, this feels more so of like you needing to dust self off and make a plan for your future, for yourself. And this feels like stability related. Like I feel like this is less of like leaving a connection, and again it can still be part of that, but this is less about doing that and like just healing. And this is more about making a decision to start saving money for that big trip you wanted to do, or to start making plans for that business or that project that you said for a really long time you were going to do, but because of these toxic attachments, like you've been putting it on the back burner. There's just something about that's going to like affect your home, or that's going to affect your stability here, that I feel like it's time to do or pursue. But and again, that back and forth coming and going energy can be more about a bad habit that you have with like starting something and then giving up. or you start something and then it gives you an idea to start something else and then start something else and then something else, and before you know it, you're so overly drained by all of these multiple things that you're starting that you end up not doing any of them, because there's just like so much on the plate here. So that can also be what that energy is kind of about. Like this pile feels more about self and less about like a connection here. I'm hearing to trust in your timing. I'm seeing a lot of like trails. Trust in your path and trust in the divine timing of things in your life. Remember, that's what's meant for you won't pass you by, pile 2. This also looks like trusting in delays. When delays happen, they're definitely for a reason. Remember that delays are what help align your path better in the future, even if you can't see it yet. Because we're getting like happy, sad energy too, kind of like masking yourself in that way, I feel like this pile also needs to restore. You need to restore your emotions, or you need to restore your mind, body, and your spirit. I feel like that needs to get aligned. There's a need to reconnect with your essence. I'm seeing the initial T, L. I'm also seeing K. I feel like this pile deserves some rest is another thing that I'm hearing too. Okay, let's see what we get with the tarot. Let's see what we have forward. Is there anything else I'd like to share? Pile number 2. At the split, we have the Fool and we have the Ace of Swords. Ooh, okay, so yeah. You see what I mean? I feel like for this pile, it's more of like self-development and preparing to start, like, literally preparing to prepare. Prepare to plan for something in the future or for some type of like opportunity. I feel like there's a lot that you're gonna start to visualize. Ace of Swords is that mental determination and drive, and it does talk about like thoughts and ideas starting to brainstorm or get cooking. So again, I feel like you're gonna be visualizing or getting a lot of ideas. I feel like that also goes back to what I was saying about this pile with that back and forth coming and going energy. You get an idea, you start it, but then you get another one and then another one, and then you end up not doing any of them at all. So be careful with that energy too. Confirmation. This is literally what we were just saying. Ace of Swords again, getting that idea, and then Hangman, staying stuck, saying, pause. I want to work on this other thing, and then you work on it for a little bit and then pause. I want to do this too though, so a little bit scattered brain. Make sure that you see, this does have to do with like creativeness, creative outlets, projects, things like that. It's not that you can't make these things go into fruition or happen. Obviously you can. You have the creativeness for it and the brains for it too, the ideas, the thought process and patterns. But where you lack is a little bit of the focus and control, because we do have that Hangman energy. So you kind of let all these things kind of overtake you. You get overwhelmed, and then it results in not acting. So what you can do to fix this, your spirit guides want you to know, is the Hierophant. Okay, so Hierophant is all about higher spiritual teacher, guides here. This can be quite literally like speaking out to your guides, gods, goddesses, deities. But with the Hierophant, it also talks about, every time I see this specific card, I think of like peace and tranquility, which is a little bit leaning more towards like temperance vibes. But with the Hierophant, it's due to our past knowing and wisdom that we've learned from things in the past. How can we apply it right now to the present, and making sure that our choices are aligning with that? So maybe deep down inside pile 2, you already know, like in the past, how your patterns go, how you go about having these ideas and wanting to start something and then not following through. But how can you finally kind of like stop the pattern We also have Ace of Pentacles. That's talking about planning for that new opportunity that's coming in. So it does look like there's going to be another thing you're going to want to start on, but this time, like, do what's needed to stick to it. Don't add anything else onto your plate. Like, make sure that this is like your only focus, what your spirit guides are saying. You also have the World. We're leaving one chapter, jumping into another. We have Hierophant again. We also have Emperor. We have the Devil. Confirm the Devil. We have Page of Swords in reverse. So again, make sure, pile 2, that you're learning from your past mistakes. Make sure that you're learning from older versions of yourself and those patterns. You know, it's all about picking up on those things and being like, okay, here I go, I'm doing it again, or I'm avoiding this again, or I'm procrastinating. Like, what am I gonna do about that? You know, having that kind of like self-awareness here with this like shadow side of you that's holding these toxic attachments, or this like cycle of coming and going, starting and stopping. I feel like once this kind of gets wiped out, you will definitely be able to kind of like lead better with the Emperor. Emperor is not only necessarily about leading other people. It can be, but foremost, like leading yourself and where you want to head next into your own life. Okay, let's see what we have for your final card. Okay, this is your final overall message, my pile number 2s. What areas of your life are you avoiding? Are they causing you upset, worry, disrupted sleep? If so, these are the areas you need to focus on. As much as you don't want to, it is necessary. Tackle your demons head on. Don't allow them to rule you for a second longer. There's that Devil card we were saying. And again, I was talking about too how this like back and forth energy can be going back and forth to things, addictions, maybe going back and forth to a person or a toxic relationship, going back and forth on what you say you're going to do and then changing your mind. Whatever that toxic pattern is for you is what you're being called to take control of, you know, and because you can. So make sure you believe in yourself and believe that you can. But it first starts with awareness, and it starts with releasing those toxic attachments, making those little baby steps to do it. And I am seeing you working on that over the next couple of days. So now's the time to act on it. Now's the time to start, and also to start planning too. Okay, but that's what I have for you, my pile number 2s. I hope you enjoyed. If it resonated, give this pile or this reading a thumbs up. If you would like, leave a comment down below letting me know which pile you are from. If you would like to connect with me privately for a private reading, you can check out my listings over on my Etsy shop that will be linked down below, as well as my TikTok for daily lives Monday through Friday. I am sending you lots of love and light and everything nice. I will see you on the next one.